Hey everyone, this is Brandon Veller with Freedom Enneagram Coaching. If you're new to Freedom Enneagram or to the Enneagram in general, I would invite you to go check out the Season 1 playlist. Or if you're just coming into Season 2, you may want to go back to Episode 17, which is Season 2, Episode 1, and see where we're starting this time around. If you're more of an audio person, or if you just want to hear this content again in another way, you can find the Freedom Enneagram podcast anywhere that you find podcasts. And finally, I would so appreciate it if you would go and like and follow me on Facebook and Instagram. You can find me at Freedom Enneagram Coaching on both. Leave your Enneagram questions and your comments, and I'll do my best to answer them. I'm so happy that you're watching today and that I get to talk to you about the Enneagram. Okay, so today we're talking about the Enneagram Type 2. Now, I'm going to be going through some typical traits and characteristics of the Type 2, but that doesn't mean that every Type 2 will necessarily display that trait. So if you are a 2, or if you think you're a 2, or if you know a 2, and some of these things don't resonate or fit, that's okay. The traits and characteristics may not match, but pay attention to the core motivations. All right, let's get started. If you've watched these last few deep dives, you can tell that I am a huge fan of Marilyn Vancel's Self-Deluse, Self-Defined. In that, she calls the Type 2 a reflection of God's love and care. Love and care define a Type 2. At their best, 2s are encouraging, loving, caring, warm, and affectionate people. They're other-oriented. They're focused on relationships. 2s are natural servants who actually love to take care of others, to help others, to serve others. Now remember, like I've said, each Enneagram type is part of a triad. Type 2 is in the heart triad. These types are social types that tend to lean into their emotional intelligence. However, they don't usually deal well with their own emotions. Connections and relationships with others are greatly important. For all the types in the heart triad, which is also known as the feeling or emotional triad, their first reaction is to feel something rather than to think about it or to do something. The dominant emotion for types in the heart triad is shame. Okay? But each type will deal with that in a different way. Now, again, I don't mean by saying that they don't deal with things with their thoughts or their gut reactions. I don't mean that heart triads don't do that. Every type does this, that every type experiences those. But each type has a particular strength or a root in a specific triad. Okay? Type 2s feel what others feel, and they love to help and serve others. They derive their sense of self-worth and their value from being in service. So even though this type tends to be very in tune with the emotions of other people, they ignore their own emotions. Heart types deal with shame, and the Type 2 uses their service to get others to like them, to get others to love them, so that they feel like they belong and like they're wanted. Now, Ernest Hemingway said, the most painful thing is losing yourself in the process of loving someone too much and forgetting that you are special too. This is Type 2. I'm a Type 2, so I can speak to this directly from painful, sometimes experience. 2s don't believe or remember that they are special and that they are worthy of love. They believe instead, I am loved and esteemed if, and only if, I care for others without regard for my own needs. I am loved if I take care of you and not me. They've internalized this message that it's not okay to have my own needs. The 2 will serve and help and care for others, at the expense of themselves. Now, the problem with the two's service, they're born servants, they're great at taking care of people. The problem with this is that it isn't always selfless and altruistic as they want to believe it is. The core fear of a type 2 is that they are unloved and unwanted. And more than that, they fear that they are unworthy of even being loved or being wanted. This is their core drive. They long to feel loved and wanted for who they are. Just loved because, just wanted because. But because of the shame they feel for being so unlovable and unwanted, they don't believe that can happen, so they work incredibly hard to try to earn that love and to make themselves wanted. If they make themselves indispensable and loving and selfless people, then the others will have to want them and they'll have to love them. More problems come for the type 2 when their own wants, needs, and feelings, these things that they constantly push down and push away and deny they even have so that they can focus on others, when these come out, this can lead to anger and frustration at others who don't serve them back as well as the 2 serves them. Or when the 2 wants something but wasn't able to say it and they don't get it. The 2 may have known what the other person needed and could do it without being told. But other people don't have that gift to feel and know the right thing that the 2s tend to have. So they were expecting to get XYZ, but the other person didn't know that. And when the 2 didn't receive that, now they're angry, now they're resentful, now they're frustrated, now they're hurt, but they didn't express what they needed. And feeling this way can lead to feeling rejected, which brings more shame and brings more feelings of being unloved and unwanted. And this emotional circle can just be crushing for the type 2, which makes it harder and harder for them to believe that others would truly love and want them. It's kind of hard being a type 2, I'll tell you. I'm sure every other type would say, wow, it's hard to be a type, whatever. I'm telling you, as a 2, it's rough. Now, 2s are great helpers, but they can also be great people pleasers. Saying no can be incredibly difficult, and saying I need this is almost impossible. Again, this comes back to those feelings of fear and shame. The 2 believes that they are being selfish by expressing their needs. And they fear that if they express their needs or they're selfish, they're going to be rejected. And feeling rejected confirms that fear that they aren't wanted or worthy of being loved. We're exhausting. Okay, now if you look at the Enneagram diagram, the type 2 is in between types 1 and types 3. These are the wings of the type 2. So a 2 can be a 2-wing 1 or a 2-wing 3. If you take a test or you speak to someone that says you're a 2-wing 7, either the test is a poorly written test or the person is confused about the way the Enneagram works. Just like the wings of a bird or on a plane are on the sides of the body, the wings of the Enneagram type are directly to the side of the main type. Okay, so you can only be a 2-wing 1 or a 2-wing 3, or possibly you could be a 2 with a balanced 1 and 3 wings. So you have equal amounts 1 wing and 3 wing. But that's it. The 2-wing 1 has its main type in the heart triad and its dominant wing in the body triad. They tend to be more idealistic. They have that type 1 sense of right and good and correct and order, and they want things to be that way. They can be more reasonable and more objective. They can also be very self-critical and judgmental. And they are very fine serving others behind the scenes. They don't have to be front stage and seen for what they're doing. The 2-wing 3 has the 2's relationship focus on love and care, combined with the 3's desire to be noticed. So they tend to be more self-assured and confident. They can be very charming and flattering, outgoing, even seductive. They will love and care for people, but they will make sure that people see and know how good at loving and caring they are. They're not a serve behind the scenes kind of person. They want to serve from up front and be noticed for it. Again, if you go look at the Enneagram diagram, the type 2 is connected to the type 4 and to the type 8. You can Google this and see it. Just type in Enneagram lines and arrows and you'll see it immediately. These lines and arrows show how the type 2 changes or accesses the other types in times of stress and times of health. In stress, the type 2 takes on characteristics of the type 8. So the normally loving, patient, helpful 2 can suddenly become aggressive and angry or defensive and controlling. They'll blame others for all these problems while only seeing that what they were doing, what their intentions were good. I don't like that sentence. That hits really hard. In health, the 2 will take on characteristics of the type 4. So they will be able to actually feel their own feelings. And that lets them be more compassionate towards themselves and towards others. They get the ability to say, I need this, or I feel this, or no, I can't do that. So when they're in health, that type 4's ability to introspect and feel their own stuff helps the 2 be able to take care of their own needs. Now, the type 2's root sin or their vice is pride. Because they fear being unloved or unworthy, 2s repress all their own needs and their feelings. That's their defense mechanism. And they'll focus on others' needs and wants and desires, focus on others instead. They feel pride at being needed by others and at being able to help and care for others so much better than anyone else. They will downplay their own needs and feelings so much that they get stuck in this cycle of people pleasing because taking care of themselves seems so selfish. They feel pride because they don't have needs. I don't need any time for myself. No, I'm fine. What do you need? What can I do for you? And they can start to believe that they don't even have needs or that their needs aren't even important. So this repression just leads to this prideful cycle. If I could, I want to talk directly to the type 2. 2, you are wanted. You are loved. And you are worthy of being loved. You don't have to work for it. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to push yourself aside to get it. You are loved and you are wanted right now. Jesus left heaven and died for you. You are so valuable to him that he laid down his life for you. Jesus wants and loves you, and he proved that through his death. So knowing, believing, and walking in that, in his love, can now free you from needing everyone else's affirmation. Because you are already loved and wanted by the God of the universe, you can be loving and you can serve without strings attached. In Jesus, you are loved, you are worthy, and you are wanted. I may just have to repeat that paragraph to myself every morning as a daily affirmation because I've studied the Enneagram for a few years. I know all of this. I've been a Christian for many years. I know all of this. And it's still so easy to just pick up that baggage of I'm not loved, I'm not wanted, I'm not worthy, so I have to do, and I have to do, and I have to work, and I have to earn it. But in Jesus, we don't have to. We're already loved. We're already wanted. We're already worthy. And we can rest in that. And then that frees us up to love others, to serve others without trying to earn it. And that frees us up to love ourselves. Well, I want to thank everyone for watching. I appreciate your time, your attention, your comments. Make sure to subscribe here. Maybe it's on this side. Make sure to subscribe here. Go to Facebook, go to Instagram, follow me there. Share this video. Go find the podcast anywhere you can find it. Freedom Enneagram Podcast. Share that too. Send me your Enneagram questions. If you're interested in doing any sort of coaching, whether that's one-on-one, a couple, a family, a church, a small group, a business, you can direct message me on Facebook or Instagram. You can email me at freedomenneagramcoaching@gmail.com. That's Freedom Enneagram Coaching, all one word. This is Freedom Enneagram Coaching. I am Brandon Vella, and my goal is to help you discover who you are, uncover who you were meant to be, and to live free.